because when you understand your own power to create your personal experience of reality, then the collective reality will change.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Dante. We're going to have another conversation. Let's get going.
Hello, and we say a fantastic day to you once again. We are the Pleiadian Council, and we thank you for allowing this message to come through at this particular moment of your time. In which ways can we be of assistance to you now?
I'm curious about Bashar. Can you tell us who is Bashar?
Oh, Bashar is a Sasani being that came to bring through very specific frequencies related to open contact to your world. He is one of the forerunners of the open contact timelines, you could say. We are very connected to him on some level, though we are of different species and planets and so on.
Can you explain for people who are new to this? You said Sasani. Can you explain that?
Sasani is a hybrid race resulting from the intermixing between humans and greys. Greys, of course, are a mutated human from a different timeline of Earth that went down a technological dark age.
Okay, and the Greys abducted humans in our 1950s or 40s and created hybrids, and then the hybrids created hybrids, and the Sasani are the third generation of hybrids?
That's correct. Though one thing we'll say is that it wasn't just in that time frame of the 50s and so on. It was at various points throughout the 20th century, you could say.
Even before the atom bomb?
Not at that point.
Okay. So Bashar is an ET from a future race.
Correct.
And as all time is now, all space is now, you've told us, they are, or he or they, is it collective?
Bashar is one member of that race that speaks on behalf of the collective.
And telepathically is connected to the whole race, or is...
Correct.
Okay, so expressing the whole race.
Correct.
Telepathically, but is an individual.
Correct.
Okay, and what is the link between the channeler and Bashar? Is there some ancestry or some kind of karmic link there?
Between this channel?
No, between...
between Daryl, that channel. Yes, there is a soul link. Bashar is a future incarnation of that channel, Daryl.
All right. And you are also a future incarnation of Dante here beside me.
Correct.
Right. So that's the way that works. What is your comments on the quality of channeling from Bashar?
Of the best quality of channelers available to you, though of course with some distortion, as there's always some level of distortion from every channeler, in that the channeled entities must use the content of the mind of the channel, and therefore, to a certain extent, the beliefs of the channel create the landscape through which the channeling can be delivered. That said, the process of opening the channel is one of having to vastly reconfigure that landscape again and again so as to allow for the energy of the particular entity that wishes to work with you to be able to have a canvas to use.
Right, and Bashar has been channeled for about 40 years now. Was that sort of predestined or inevitable?
Correct. Yes.
It would happen, whatever, even if the guy resisted, it would have happened.
A version of the channel that resisted exists in another timeline of Earth that looks very different from this timeline of your Earth.
Right. Okay. Can I ask you now about Cryon?
Yes.
Who or what is Cryon? The another channel.
Ion is a multidimensional consciousness representative of the higher self of that particular channel. This Cryon has soul connections to many other beings, including ascended masters and angels and ET races, and often interacts with them to get particular information.
And what do you feel about the quality of the information from Cryon?
Again, this information is distorted through the landscape of that channel's mind, though there is a particular soul agreement with this channel and a group of people to support them in their ascension journey according to their own needs and their own belief systems prior to their upgrade, so to speak, into multidimensional consciousness. This group of people are those who are very much influenced by Christian belief systems. They have grown up in the church or something similar to that to some extent, and they were programmed with certain ideas that some of which stuck to them and others they have moved away from. And therefore this more charismatic approach and more mythological approach that Cryon takes is something that resonates with them and allows for the information that he presents to be something that is accepted by their consciousness.
Okay, fair enough. And what about the channeler, Lee Carroll? What is his connection, more precisely?
Cryon is the higher self of Lee Carroll.
So it's more simple than the connection to ET.
Yes.
All right. And you are Pleiadians from the future.
Yes. Well, we are a being that connects with the collective. Understand that in our world, we don't see ourselves as individuals in the same way that you see yourself as individuals in your world.
And you are like a future reincarnation of Dante here.
Correct.
Okie doke. What do you think about your own quality of information? Does it get through as you intend?
The channel has been on a journey of transformation. There are certain things that we could not teach properly at the beginning of the channel's journey with channeling that we now communicate in a much clearer way. The channel is evolving, and we are working with the channel to continue evolving. So we do think things are perfect as they are, and that this information gets to people exactly as it needs to, though, of course, as all, will continue to improve.
Okay. Can I ask you now about Barbara Marciniak, who channels the Pleiadians? Who is she channeling exactly?
The same Pleiadians that we are. Of course, she has her own guide. Though, yes, there is some different level of distortion. Their sole agreement was to open the minds of many people to the concept of channeling, which they did very well. Though also there were other soul agreements in place, and there are some levels of distortion in this channeling at this time.
And how was Barbara Marciniak chosen and came for this role?
It was a soul agreement prior to incarnation that was awakened at a certain point in her journey.
Are there any other channels that you are working closely with, aware of, or you would recommend to us in this conversation?
We're very aware of many of the people who are now opening to their connections with extraterrestrials, and this is of interest to us because, of course, we are here to support you to move further along an open contact timeline. And we want to remind you that the frequency of the beings is always present, even when there's some degree of distortion from the particular channels that bring them through. We would say that every different channel has their own particular focus. And some channels are very much focused on bringing through information regarding the other extraterrestrial beings out there and their realities. This is something that we are capable of bringing through, though much of our focus is in changing your reality and helping you understand the mechanics of energy. This is our main interest because when you understand your own power to create your personal experience of reality, then the collective reality will change.
Okay, well, I think that's all we have time for in this particular conversation.
All right.
And thank you so much.
Okay, thanks to you as well.
On the spaceship of Babel, we are gliding through the stars on a 5-year mission beyond Jupiter and Mars. A celestial encounter on a future Noah's Ark, and you won't hear us coming as we whisper in the dark. There's an Ewok close behind me as we try to disembark here. Obi-Wan Kenobi as we whisper in the dark.